here in this sacred ground tonight, this sacred tree from the mother, been here for many years. First, I want to honor the great ancestors from above and from below. I want to ask for their support and guidance for what we're about to do tonight. Aho.
We hold a good practice of speaking to the Yugin Bear every day on this land. We know that in their language they say Nanya Nambuli Nuru, which means welcome good spirit. And since we've been doing that, we can feel the different energy in the spirits around this area, because we acknowledge that the elders past and present have been holding this land since time immemorial, as long before we even knew that humans existed, since way before we believed that humans existed. It was in the dreaming. This place was dreamed into reality, and we acknowledge that and how far back that goes. So we thank them, and we thank them, and we thank them. But now we're going to ask you to imagine that we are somewhere between China and Arabia on the Silk Road, and that this tree is the mystical cinnamon tree.
Come closer. Come closer. Shh. As I place my hand on the cinnamon tree, we have to be quiet, because there's a great legend that is believed through the Great Silk Road of the cinnamon, the beautiful cinnamon powder that come from many countries. But there was a legend that said, and raised its price to such extravagance that only kings could afford it.
So when it first hit markets, like in the Mediterranean, everyone's like, what is this spice? Where did it come from? And that's when the traders who knew where the cinnamon came from, the cinnamon bark, started making up stories. And so we love those stories, and we love the resonance in those stories, and we want those stories to be spread for the hilarity and for the beauty in storytelling.
For me, the truth. I believe it to be true. So, listen. Above us, 100 meters into the darkness. Tonight it's night, but in the morning, these great creatures, the size of cars, we call them cinnamon bird, the great cinnamon bird, will fly away from its nest in search of cows, people,
because they're so big that they can pick up an entire cow and take them back to their nest.
Yeah, go jump and like this. Imagine it. Anyway, this is what we do as humans with our axes and our flutes. We stay here in the morning. We've set out cows on the paddock, so when the bird wakes up, it sees all the cows, and it takes the cows one by one, and it's driven by gluttony and greed. It just wants to feed the big little cinnamon birds. So it keeps feeding the nest, 15 cows, until the nest, what does it do, Danny? What does the nest
Until
do?
it's so heavy that the nest falls
onto the ground.
And the twig, the big branches, because the birds are so big, what the nest was actually made of was these massive cinnamon trees, and no one knows where the cinnamon bird gets their branches from.
They don't. They're in the clouds.
But this is where we harvest our cinnamon from. This is why we've got to have such a crazy price here as we come to market
so Danny,
in the Mediterranean.
what I want them to understand is we're here. We're devoting our lives to this. We could die in the morning, because when that cinnamon bird sees us taking his sticks and his kids are all over the ground a little chirping, we running and trying to get our donkey and cart
and get
right,
away.
Get away. That bird's probably going to kill us.
It's trying to
we're going to do it for the cinnamon. This is
for
important.
the cinnamon, because the cinnamon's so important. I want to read to you.
Yeah, read.
I want to read to you what the emotional impacts are of cinnamon. So this is the reason why we use the cinnamon oil so frequently, and why it's so beautiful for our emotions. So,
I'm going to play some G while you do it.
I'd love that.
From the ancient book.
So this is from the book Emotions and Essential Oils. Cinnamon supports the reproductive system and helps heal sexual issues. It assists individuals in accepting their body and embracing their physical attractiveness. Cinnamon dispels fear of rejection and nurtures healthy sexuality. It rekindles sexual energies when there has been repression, trauma, or abuse. It can also bring clarity to souls who struggle with their sexual identity. Cinnamon also assists individuals in relationships where insecurities are shown by jealousy or control. It encourages the soul to let go of control and allow others to be free, like the cinnamon bird. Cinnamon can nurture strong relationships based on mutual love and respect. Where there are other insecurities covered by pretense, facade, and pride, we call these, in the emotional work, we call them covert contracts. So it rids covert contracts, gets everything out in the open. Honest, vulnerable, thereby allowing true intimacy to emerge. So it gets rid of body rejection, fear, controlling, jealousy, sexual abuse, sexual repression, or overactive sexuality. And what it brings is body acceptance, attractive, accepted, healthy sexuality, and harmonious intimacy.
So that is why it is important for us to risk our lives to get the cinnamon.
From the crazy, huge cinnamon birds that's got such a...
This is called legend, everyone.
Legend.
There's so many legends in the planet. I have so many more legends that I grew up as a child. I believe it. It's made me the man I am today. For me to be out here under a tree believing there's a cinnamon bird in there. This is how powerful, and we must hold on to legends, hold on to beliefs from what our ancestors have told us all our lives.
Listen to the stories of the ancestors.
Listen to yourself.
We're bringing them all back. We're being aware of these stories and retelling these stories because so many cultures in the world have been running on stories. Everything comes down to oral tradition, and it's got a beautiful resonance in this world of in this country, in this land of oral tradition. So don't be afraid to share these oral traditions and these stories and what you know about what these beautiful plants and gifts from Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and from the rest of humanity are sharing.
All you have to do is close your eyes. It's in there. See you soon.